New details this morning in the trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs. Prosecutors now claiming that from behind bars, Combs has been trying to reach out to victims.
You're legendary for the parties that you throw.
I'm a legend, baby, for a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it.
Justin, right now, he's having doing, we can't really disclose. I had legal guardianship of Usher when, you know, he did his first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. And we gonna go buck fool crazy.
In a dramatic twist, Diddy's attorney has officially severed ties with the embattled music mogul, marking a critical moment in the escalating legal drama. Following weeks of intense scrutiny, shocking revelations, and a flood of incriminating evidence, CM Diddy Combs faces the grim prospect of being found guilty on all charges, a verdict that could see him spend the rest of his life behind bars. The attorney's decision to part ways at such a crucial juncture speaks volumes. For a legal representative to step away under these circumstances strongly implies that Diddy's alleged crimes may be indefensible. Adding fuel to the fire, a new accuser has emerged, bringing fresh allegations to light. This time, the claims date back to 2018, with the individual describing a troubling and deeply unsettling relationship with the hip-hop icon.
Tell us a little bit about your client, of what you can.
Yes, so she reached out to me a few weeks ago after being referred to me by another attorney who knew I had been doing things about this case and had been sounding the horn on Diddy. I've actually sued him in another lawsuit in 2021 in Miami with Trey Songz. So she called me and told me a very horrific story about her and her escape from was on the phone with Diddy, and he decided to come to the house. And when he came to the house, everything was fine, that there was another woman there who we've determined to be Christina Coram, KK, who Diddy talks about a lot as his right-hand woman, if you will, and that they were discussing trafficking her, and then that led to her with an inanimate object, and then actually directed another gentleman to her while he watched and pleasured himself. So she was able to escape eventually and ran out into the streets yelling and screaming, and a neighbor heard her because this happened yes, we have a witness. We also have a police report, and that was made in 2018, that she, when she initially filed the police report, she didn't name Diddy out of fear of retaliation, and more importantly, fear that no one would believe her.
Stories. Mine is horrific.
Like, why didn't you say something then?
Because we just want to live. We want to be happy, and we really want to forget the trauma.
Law enforcement had enough to get the search warrant. They maybe even have enough to get an indictment, and if so, I expect Diddy to be arrested in a matter of days and no more than a week.
I have never talked about this publicly.
Tanika reacting to this interview from Joy Reid's MSNBC series on Instagram. Culture critic Torre claiming Diddy fired a family member after allegedly refusing his advances.
Years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that...
Yeah. You know, we all have stories. Seriously, we all have stories. Mine is horrific, and only 5 people know it. And mind you, I then interviewed him many times. And I also am very intimately aware that you tell your truth and you become victimized over and over. But it just is so traumatizing that women just want to live every day and feel safe.
The government likely has a very strong case against Diddy. They don't execute these types of search warrants until they have talked to witnesses, have gathered evidence, and they believe they have an ironclad case. Not only that, they have to get a federal judge to sign off on the search warrant. Ultimately, I think Diddy is going to be indicted by a grand jury. If Diddy waives his right to unlimited funds to defend this case, and I expect him to litigate it very aggressively.
And when we revisit and revisit, we live in a state of victimhood, and nobody wants to live there. So for those of you like, why didn't you say something then? We want to be happy, and we really want to forget the trauma. So
I know I pissed a lot of people off, including you. But this is a full circle moment, everybody. Get into adult conversation.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't, you live a really hectic lifestyle, and I don't understand all the running around, and who are these people that you surround yourself with, and who are these people? Do they violate you? Do you get robbed? What happens? Puff, or Sean, Diddy, Doody, what do I call you?
I think you should call me Puff. You always call me Puff.
I do.
Yes.
Okay, first hurdle jumped. Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous to come out here.
The revelations keep coming. Tenia Wallace, a former attendee of Diddy's infamous parties, has stepped into the spotlight with explosive new claims. Wallace alleges that underage individuals were present at these secretive gatherings, sparking outrage. Even more disturbing, she recalls that these minors were dressed inappropriately, a detail that left her profoundly unsettled. Her account adds another layer of controversy to an already scandalous situation, raising serious questions about what truly went on behind closed doors.
I want to start with Tenia Wallace, who claims she's been at a freak-off and said she saw children, and it was hard for her to say it.
It was very hard for her to say it, Ashley. So what she said was by the Saudi prince. And they ended up... Adults who are little people, or are you talking about minors?
Is this woman, Tenia, is she really saying that there were minors involved in these freak-offs?
That is exactly what she's saying, Billy. Now, as for what they were doing, she never really could get a clean look at it. She said there was a wall of adults encircling them who clearly didn't want everyone at the party to see what was happening there. She said when she saw this scene with the younger people, that it was about 7 a.m. and that the party had been going all night.
Did anyone ask her why didn't she leave, and what was she doing?
She was there as the guest of a Saudi prince. As to why she didn't leave, I don't know what time she left. I agree with you that once you see something like she's describing, that's the time to tip out the door.
Or call the FBI.
That's the other thing that we've heard from a lot of people who've been involved in parties with Diddy, that there are NDAs that are signed, and you walk out and you feel like, I can't say anything to anyone.
Real reasons why or what really happens, they don't know because they wasn't there. And that would affect me emotionally. But I got myself into a situation where I was about to get trafficked. And this was it was a close one. I came up on this prince, and he was Arabian, and he flew me to Miami, and he said I was gonna be there for 2 weeks. We were in a $30 million house, and I ended up being there for a month, and I had to escape, okay? And we were meeting so many girls, and girls from Love and Hip Hop was coming in the house, and celebrities was there, and all of this stuff, but it started to get real weird, it was a lot of drugs, and I don't do hard drugs like that. I was smoking weed, and they were doing hard drugs and stuff. And it was just he was trying to distract us with buying this stuff. We was going shopping and doing all these things. And for some reason, I felt like I'm used to getting, but this right here, where am I about to be tomorrow? And why are we still here? So then he says, well, we're gonna go to Cuba. So the girls start talking in the house, and they're like, girl, I gotta get back home. And he said that I can't leave. And I'm like, well, what is he gonna do with us? Then, we had went to some celebrity's house, and we ended up at P. Diddy's house. And I just started hearing conversations, and I just got trafficking from it. Because, I heard the prince saying something like, oh, you can have whoever you want. He was selling us, It gave me a whole nother outlook on everything too. And I had to really pump my brakes on how I do things. And maybe because a week before that, I had just said I want to be in Miami. I want to be around royalty. I want to spend this much amount. And I realized everything that I said that I wanted, it came the next week.
Tenia Wallace shook the internet to its core during her revealing sit-down with ***, no jumper clips, ***, sharing jaw-dropping details that have forever changed how people view Diddy. Tenia spared no details, painting a disturbing picture of these gatherings as more than just wild celebrity parties. They were something far darker. The most shocking revelation: Diddy's own sons were allegedly present at these events, a claim that has sent shockwaves through the public and further tarnished the music mogul's already crumbling reputation.
Club Live ended up ending later than out here, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
We go back to the mansion, we chill for an hour. Next thing you know, we load it up, how we always do. We load up and go places, but now we loaded up on our way to Star Island.
What is that?
Star Island where Diddy lives.
Oh.
So that's where his freak off goes.
It's just like a section of Miami, or it's like an actual island?
It's actually, because the street has like a whole bunch of palm trees and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, I did TMZ. I just did a documentary for TMZ last week, right?
Okay.
And it's I seen you on the first one.
Oh, they're doing a follow-up?
Yes, because they have more information. So it was the downfall of Diddy.
That's true. There's like hundreds of more accusations after the first one. Yeah.
Exactly. And so they basically, I got there because I had footage. So I gave them footage that nobody has.
Okay.
And so we're on Star Island. I'm in my Snap recording like, oh, Diddy's house is lit, da-da-da. But I haven't gotten there yet. So I'm not knowing as soon as we get to the door that they were gonna lock up our phones in bubble cases. We could hold it, but it's locked up. We can't use it.
Right.
So I'm like, what the So I walk in, come here. Now I'm walking with the girl that I brought. The other girls are walking behind me, but once we got in the house to the side door, it was a backyard, so everybody split up.
And so the vibe is that the pretty girls, dudes will come up to them and kind of like make it clear like, yo, you're getting invited to the latter tier of this party.
Exactly.
And they're giving out what, like little sandals?
Exactly, that's what they were giving out. So when the son came up to me and said, you come here, or called me over there, I'm like, who, her? He's like, no, you. So I'm thinking like, why not both of us? But okay, whatever. He's like, take these shoes. And I'm like, what do I do with these? He like, this is how you get in the house. So I just took them, I carried them, and that's when Diddy came, like, just appeared. Now, when somebody walks behind you and rubs the side of you, you already know, like, what the?
Yeah.
You might as well hold me and pick me up. What was you about to do? Throw me in the pool? But everybody was already skinny dipping. That's nothing. When I walked in, before I seen Diddy, I'm just peeping out everything. House music going like a rave. Do. And it's real loud. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, eating eggs and bacon in the goddamn pool. But naked though. And just walking around, and waitresses passing around drinks left and right. I was even holding the drink in my hand, and I don't even drink like that. Occasionally, but so when he came up to me, he's like, how are you liking my house? And I'm like, I'm trying not to be starstruck, so I wasn't looking him in his eye. And so I was just having side conversations with him. He's, the prince been telling me a lot about you and da-da-da-da, like, but you need to go inside my house. Enjoy my house. And he's saying little stuff like, what's mine is yours, and all of this stuff or whatever, right? So I tell my friend, like, girl, let me just go up in this house. Like, the wants me to go inside.
Right.
But I don't want to leave you out. So I'll be in there for a few minutes. I'll be right out. This going on, that going on, a few things going on.
So wait, like the main house is the party, and then there's a separate room or a separate section where the freak off is taking place?
Separate section where the freak off is taking place.
And you can't see this section from the main party?
No, because you got to go inside the house. The party is like outside, and the party is inside too, but that's the freak off.
Okay.
So people that are just outside, they won't know what's going on.
And you're talking about
until you walk in, tuning out everybody around them.
Such a crazy concept to me because I have so much experience having on camera, but I can't imagine just being at a party and just wanting to have an where like a million other people could see you. It seems like such an obvious thing to be like, let's go in the other room. Right,
but you know what? With the music and the drugs and the drink, do they even care?
And I was thinking about that. Like if I'm gone off the molly.
I'm talking about gone. Like you go in Hollywood, like it's like different sections. Like it's a R&B, not R&B, like a reggae side, then a techno house music side, then it's a regular mainstream side.
Right.
The music was loud as if as you go to different sections of the house, it's different shit going on, like a different tune of music. You get what I'm saying?
While Diddy's legal team may attempt to deflect, twist narratives, and craft distractions to shift focus from the growing avalanche of accusations, one haunting story refuses to fade: the mysterious and untimely death of Aaron Carter. Aaron, the pop sensation who captured hearts as a child star at just 9 years old, was tragically found dead at 34. Although his death was officially attributed to a combination of drug use and mental health struggles, it has long left fans and conspiracy theorists uneasy. Now, fresh theories have surfaced, suggesting a chilling connection between Diddy and Aaron's tragic demise. reigniting questions that refuse to be silenced.
Following developing news tonight in Lancaster, where pop star Aaron Carter has died at the age of 34.
Yeah, the troubled performer grew up in the limelight, but he was in and out of rehab several times in his short life. Chris Wolf is live for us in Lancaster. He's got more on this. Chris?
Yeah, Rick, MB, the street is now cleared. People have been moving in and out of that home behind me all day. And tonight we heard from some of those closest to Aaron Carter, and they all say the same thing. They all share stories of a very kind, loving, caring, humble, yet troubled young man.
Very, very painful. I talked to him 2 weeks ago. He was at the dentist and he FaceTimed me. He said, come over. And I said, I have work to do. I wish I could have just go see him at least one more time.
A lot of people keep forgetting Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing, begging for security. He made it very clear Sony was out to get him, just like Michael Jackson told him. And right around that time, his brother had just been accused of raping one of the girls from making the band, Diddy's entity. And Aaron called his brother out. And then the next thing you know, he said, if anything happens to me, I did not do this to myself. And then he was gone.
Regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old. I'm sorry. I'm sorry the way that I look. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. It hurts. It hurts so bad because there's like for high blood pressure medication. And I took every 2 seconds seeing a tweet. Yeah. Go. Oh, look at this.
Aaron Carter's mom has made a pretty remarkable decision. She has decided she wants the world to see the death scene, where the bathroom where Aaron was found dead. And the reason for this is she is calling out the police and feels like they did not do a proper investigation here, because she is certainly insinuating that there may have been foul play involved in Aaron Carter's death.
We're gonna bring her on, but before we do, I just want to make something really clear. The police have said it was not foul play. They have not identified anybody as a person of interest, a suspect, anything like that. The operating theory is he was huffing and he overdid it and died in the bathtub. So that's the operating theory. She has a different point of view.
Right. The photo remains something that people are talking about, and I think she's insinuating she wants people to put pressure on the police to do a thorough investigation. So joining us now to talk about why she put these out is Jane Carter, Aaron's mom. Jane, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you so much.
So Jane, why don't you walk us through what troubles you about in the house?
Oh, well, the first day, I got a call. The first thing, I got a call from my daughter, Angel, and she said that Aaron was found in the pool. Then I found out later that he was found in a tub, and it just, everything, the stories just kind of kept changing. But I was very concerned.
Diddy's world continues to collapse as the once dominant music mogul suffers yet another crushing defeat. For the third time, his bail plea has been unequivocally denied, painting an increasingly grim picture of his future. The prospect of spending the rest of his life behind bars now looms larger than ever. The courtroom battles have been a spectacle in their own right, with Diddy's legal team pulling out all the stops in desperate attempts to secure his release. However, the sheer weight of evidence and the relentless flood of accusations are leaving him with nowhere to hide.
We talked to you about that breaking news before the break. We are just learning that a judge has denied another one of rapper Sean Diddy Combs' requests to be released on bail. I remember he's behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, waiting for his trial to get started next year in May. He's been detained for 2 months on charges of trafficking and racketeering, which he's pled not guilty to. Chloe Malas is following this for us. We were waiting for this decision. We got it in now. What do we know?
All right. Well, it's 5 pages, and the
takeaway here is that the judge is saying that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure that he was a danger to the community. And they showed that video, that surveillance video of him from 2016 brutally beating his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, saying that he has a propensity to violence, and that alone is a reason why we cannot agree to the proposed bail package. Now, his team had offered $50 million, a home of his in Miami as collateral, and they said that he would live in an apartment on Manhattan's Upper East Side, monitored by 24-hour security, that he would only talk to his attorneys, that he would only have, certain family members on a pre-approved list, and that, he would actually, this is the third time, this judge not buying it.
What was Diddy like in court? You were there twice last week. What was his demeanor like?
I mean, he was smiling on Friday, turned around and looked at his children. All of his children were there except for his infant child. His mother was there. He looked a little thinner. He looked a little worse for wear, but he has seemed upbeat and positive. And a few days earlier on Wednesday, so a week ago today, his legal team had a win, because his team was able to say that New York prosecutors wrongly obtained 6 a criminal trial in May, and the judge agreed that those should have been protected under attorney-client privilege. So there was a feeling today among reporter friends of mine and people in the building here that, maybe there's a chance that the judge, given he's taking several days to think about this, he asked for both sides to write a letter, that he might release him. But this is the third time. His team, we're waiting for a response from them, from his legal team. They could appeal again. But we were talking to Danny Savalos earlier, and he said, they would have to propose something new and different to potentially be successful for a 4th attempt.
They playing a game with him because they want him probably to be a witness or to turn over some evidence on some other people that they would like to have behind bars too. You got to realize this. For him to do that, and if he does that, his life is more in danger outside of jail than it is in. Because they can't do the same, they can't do the same Epstein move again. They can't do the same Epstein. My friend told me that they put up so many cameras after that Epstein stuff. They can't do that move again. He did it to himself or somebody else did it to him. We don't know. Whether he's on a private island or he's in the grave, do we really know? The whole thing about it is that he may be safer in jail if people are making his beds and he's telling people to smile. He may be safer in jail than he is out. Man, I don't know. I thought he would have it hard, man, because since that was Brooklyn, and Brooklyn always stands up, and a lot of dudes from Brooklyn think that he led big to his death. You understand? And by him being housed in Brooklyn, I thought that it would be real difficult for him. But, money talks, bullshit walks.
What other secrets could be lurking in Diddy's tangled web? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're here for all the jaw-dropping drama, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more shocking revelations from the music industry. Stay tuned, fam. There's plenty more to uncover. Until next time, keep it locked.